All right, here's the last page. We'll do this side and then the other side, and we'll be done with the review. Make sure if you got questions that you contact me and we can talk about it. So this one is categorizing these. It can be kind of tough. One of the things that I would do, because we're talking here about quadrilaterals, is if they give you one that's never a parallelogram, get rid of that one first. Because remember, parallelograms is a bigger bucket, right? Things that are not parallelograms, trapezoids, okay, pretty much like that's about it. Or just a regular quadrilateral that's all funky, right? So it says never a parallelogram. I would put the trapezoid there. And then when you look at these, is always a parallelogram, is always a rhombus. I mean, is a rectangle ever going to be a rhombus? Is it ever going to be? No, right? So you got to start thinking about things in that way. That's the weirdest one. Parallelograms, squares and rectangles are both always parallelograms, but only one of these is always a rhombus. So that's how I would look at those types of questions, okay? Start with get rid of the ones that definitely don't fit out, and then take this broad category and look over here and look for something that is more strict than a square. A square is like everything, right? Okay. Ken keeps paper clips in a box that is the shape of a cube. Each side of the cube is 3 inches. What's the volume of the box? Length times width times height. If it's a cube, that means all of the sides are the same, right? So 3 times 3 times 3. Easy. All right. This one, Monica used 1-inch cubes to make the rectangular prism shown for numbers 18A through 18D. Write the value from the tiles that make each statement true. So each value can be used more than once or not at all. Just, I wouldn't even really worry about the numbers. If you know what you're doing, you're going to be fine. Just write in what you know. Each cube has a volume of, guys, you know this is always going to be 1. These are unit cubes, okay? And it tells you right here, 1-inch cubes. That means it's 1 by 1 by 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. It's 1-inch cube, right? So remember that. Each layer of the prism is made up of how many cubes? Well, that's the bottom layer. 4 rows of 5, right? That's the length times width. That's the base of the rectangular prism. What's 4 times 5? It's 20, right? So, boom. How many layers of cubes? That's going to be my height. So this is length times width. This is height. And then the volume of the prism is all of that multiplied out, right? Length times width times height. So you got that all day. Okay, let me go to the last page. Okay, these ones, remember, we've got prisms and we've got pyramids. Prisms, right, have the 2 bases, okay? And they've got these rectangular faces and then some kind of polygon base, right? So the base can be anything. So when if I was to name these, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a hexagonal prism, right? If it's a pyramid, it comes to a point. Pyramids come to a point. So look for the points. If it's got points, those are pyramids, man. Put those here. Prisms go here, okay? Easy peasy. Rectangular face and triangular faces are always on pyramids, all right? They have some other kind of polygon face. They might have a triangle base, but these don't. But they have these triangular faces where these have rectangular faces. See, rectangle, 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 rectangle. All right. Mark packed 1-inch cubes into a box with a volume of 120 cubic inches. So my volume is 120. So volume equals length times width times height, right? How many layers of 1-inch cubes did Mark pack? So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And 1, 2, 3. And I got to figure out what is H. Okay, and they gave me the volume. So my volume is 120 equals 8 times 3 times H. Okay, and so I'm going to go 8 times 3, 120 equals 24H, or times H. What do I do when they give me a volume? I have to always divide. So I'm going to take 120 and divide it by 24 to get the height. Okay, because 24 times something's going to give me 120. Okay. Then my composite figure shown. Don't forget, you can break it any way you want. That way. Or you can break it this way. For me, I would probably break this one this way because I've got 10, 6, and 4. And then I just got to figure out this one. It gives me the height and it gives me the length, right? But what is this measurement here? Well, I just follow my edges. Boink, boink, boink. There it is. It's 6. So that's going to be 6 right there as well. All right, so just follow the edges. All right, that's it. If you've got questions, please send me a message so that I can get it answered for you. All right, good luck.